What is going on, whole and holy girls? I just finished our prayer call for today a little bit ago, and I was just, putting the description and things in on YouTube for the replay. And as I was typing it out, I was putting as the title, because we talked about abiding, John 15, and apart from me, you can do nothing. And I was typing that in, apart from him, you can do nothing. And the Lord was just sharing with me how we have trouble with that. And because we want to do things in our own strength, we want to do it on our own because we have trouble being dependent on him. And that is in part due to this narrative that the world tries to give us and tries to feed us, about being independent, independent women, trying to do things on our own. And that is not God's way. God's way is not for us to be independent. One, we're not supposed to be independent from him. We're supposed to be dependent on him, because apart from him, we can do nothing. And then two, he doesn't call us to be independent. He calls us to be in fellowship and community with one another, to actually need one another. That's why we're the body, right? Because the eye can't be the foot can't be the hand can't be the esophagus. You know what I'm saying? So we need each other. We are not called to be independent. And some of us struggle with this place of abiding with him and understanding to trust him and do it his way and allow him to do it, to, like we talked about a couple videos before, Proverbs 3, trust in the Lord with all our heart, lean not on our own understanding, and always acknowledge him and he will direct our paths. Fear the Lord, resist the enemy, it will be health to our health to our bones and strength to our flesh. Strength to our bones and health to our flesh. Something like that, right? Proverbs 3, 5 through 8. And so we have trouble with that because we want to do it on our own. Because if we think about the narrative our whole lives, and not just the independent woman narrative, but everything, when the world's way is to do it yourself. Just like I was even saying in prayer, keeping our eyes on our own paper. And we think about school. You weren't allowed to cheat in school. You weren't allowed to get help in school during a test, right? But that's not God's way. That's the world's way. You're supposed to get help. A lot of people, even that should be in this community, aren't in here because they're still trying to do it their own way, thinking they don't need community. That was me before. Thinking like, well, I'm good, like, with so many friends, because the way the enemy worked, he made it so that there were people in my life that made it so that I didn't want friends, because I was just constantly being hurt, being teased, whatever, by people that I wanted to be my friend. And so it got to this place where I didn't want community. I didn't want to be around other women. I could care less. But that wasn't God's way. That's not what God had, because the enemy knew this, Whole and Holy Girls Club. So of course he's going to try to keep me away from other women when God has called me to women, to help women, right? And anyway, so that was the thing the Lord was just revealing to me. And I may post this outside of the club because somebody needs to hear this. But besides us. But anyway, we have this trouble abiding, because abiding in him and realizing that apart from him we can do nothing means that we have to be dependent on him. We have to be dependent on one another, because as I was praying too, I said that it's the same Holy Spirit in all of us. One Spirit in all of us is flowing through all of us. And so we can't do it without him. We can't do it without each other. Because that's the way he designed the body. That's the way he designed the church body. For us to do it together. And even when the Lord blesses us, a lot of times when he blesses us, it will be through man, right? pressed down, shaken together, running over, that men will give into your bosom. So he's going to bless us many times through man. So why do we think we don't need man? Why do we think we don't need one another? Right? And I'm probably preaching to the choir here in the club. But like I said, we have to shed that want to be independent, that want to be in control, because it's just an illusion. We are not truly in control. That illusion of control, making us think that we can be in control and do things our way, is really what keeps us stuck in circling, because we think we're in control, but then something happens and we fall out. Right? It's really not about us being in control. It's about letting him control things. And so anyway, I wanted to share that because the Lord was just revealing that we have trouble abiding in him and trying to do things without him because of this want. And of course, it's our flesh, right? It's our carnal nature that wants to be independent, that wants to be in control. But that's not the way. That is not the way. So abide in him and he in you, because apart from him, we can do nothing. All right? You have a blessed day.